This is something that happened about last year. I went to a lion park. I went to a lion park. You know, I wouldn't be a great motivational speaker if I didn't talk about lions. And so, I went to a lion park, and I was with this girl, ex-girlfriend. You know, that's the thing I don't like about this. You have the stories to work with. But anyway, I was with this girl. We go to a lion park, and when we get there, we check out these different cats, this different types of cats, wild cats. We see them, and we're walking, and everything is behind the fence. Eventually, we get to the end, and when we get to the end, the guide who's with us says, right over there, there's Mufasa. So majestic. Listen, the mane, and then the queen of the jungle was over there. The king of the jungle was over there. I was like, this is beautiful. You know, I was like, whew. My mind was blown. It was the first time that I had seen something so big. Like, I was seeing a real lion. So I get behind this girl. I was like, don't worry, I got your back. You know, and she was like, yeah, but what if this? I was like, don't worry, when we run, I'll lead the way, make sure that everything's okay. And I asked the guide, just out of curiosity, I said, sir, this thing looks pretty powerful, and the thing between us and this thing is a fence. That's about 3 meters high. And he brings up an interesting point. He says, did you know that a wild lion, if we bring in a lion that grew up in the wild, and we bring it in here, and it sees something that it wants on the other side of the fence, this fence would not stop it. I said, what does that mean? This looks like the one I saw in the wild, so what do you mean? He said, well, this one is different because although they're both lions, this one grew up in confinement. This one grew up behind this fence. From when it was born, all it has known is this fence. And so even if it wanted to, it couldn't. And listen to me, I thought to myself in that moment, it has the same capability as the one that grew up in the wild. It's also a lion. It has the same thing on the inside. It's a lion. It's a lion. It has the same DNA. But because it has lived in confinement for so long, it has not been able to break out and go over far and beyond. Listen to me. You are capable of so much more. But you have lived behind this confinement that is a fence, that is fear. You have contained yourself to this fear. And so although, listen to me, you can talk about anybody. You can look at all of them. It's the reason why you look at Elon Musk and you say, but he's different though. It's the reason why you look at Mark Zuckerberg. It's the reason why you look at Usain Bolt, why you look at Beyonce. It's the reason why you look at all these people and you say, but they're different though. You know why? The difference is the confinement. The difference is the fence that is the fear that you have allowed in between you and the thing that you want to get. And so I want to urge you today, try to find your way outside of this fence. Deal aggressively with fear. And as I finish off, hear me out. I've often heard people say that fear is not the absence of courage. I mean, courage is not the absence of fear. Listen to me. I'd like to ask you to consider today that perhaps courage is the absence of fear. Because fear, it certainly is the absence of courage. We cannot say that, yeah, fear is not the absence of courage. No. If fear is the absence of courage, then courage must be the absence of fear. They cannot coexist. It's up and down, it's on and off, it's black and white. Courage is the absence of fear. So I want to ask you to consider today that you set out to live a life, to lead a life with no fear. Not a life that has some kind of fear that you kind of bring along with you as you're chasing after your dreams. Consider living a life that has absolutely no fear. Consider living a life that is boundless, that is without limitations, that is without fear.